Welcome to the channel, guys. It's your boy Till here, and we'll be going over how to aim better in Apex Legends on the consoles Xbox One and PS4. We're going to be specifically talking about settings, sensitivity, and also some tips on how to warm up and train your aim to better be able to make the plays that you would like to make in Apex Legends. Now, the goal of this video is to help you learn to get more consistent with your aim when it comes to long range battles, mid range, and also those short range chaotic fights that you typically get into. And this is the order we're going to go in. So if you do want to skip ahead, I'll try to leave some timestamps down below, but let's get into it, my people. Now, before we get into the settings, I want to go ahead and clarify one thing about this video specifically, and the settings will be based on a movement-based type of setting rather than aim-based. And the reason I say that is because Apex Legends does not grant intense amounts of aim assist for the console players. So in that sense, having spectacular aim doesn't technically mean you're going to win that gunfight 9 times out of 10. Most times the player with the best movements and the best positioning will come out on top of most gunfights, even if they don't get the first shot on you. So this video will help get you that balance in between the two. That way you can have somewhat fast aim, but also be able to maneuver. So now that we've touched on that, let's go ahead and get into the settings. That way you can take a look at what I believe is the best sensitivity setting in Apex Legends. And I do believe a non-ADS of 4 and a ADS of 3 is the perfect middle ground for movement, along with aligning your aim perfectly in order to make the shots that you want to make. The response curve at Classic seems to be a perfect middle to win long range gunfights and also handle chaotic gunfights, and I would suggest putting your look dead zone at 0 if you don't have a drift on your controller, and also you should always turn off your vibration because you already have eyes and ears to hear and see what's going on around you. Now, if you do need a button configuration for your layout, I would suggest go with button puncher. The reason why I would suggest this is this allows you not to take your thumbs off the right and left stick as frequent as possible. In my opinion, some people underestimate the value of not taking your thumbs off the thumbstick, but I would suggest going with a setting that allows you to get comfortable and not have to take your thumbs off that frequent when you're in crazy gunfights or just moving throughout the map whenever. Now, as we're slowly transitioning into how to train your aim, I want to show you these few clips here, just showing you my movement along with my sensitivity and how it's not that important to be able to hit your first shot instead of just battling it out and treating every gunfight as its own individual battle. The reasons why I would say that is because in Apex Legends, you have to change your mentality from other games that really benefit that first shot that you actually hit versus having great movement and being able to recover and still continue the battle. Since this game has a long time to kill in most in-game situations where you're running across people with purple armor, even gold armor, or even blue sometimes, you want to make sure your movement is on par with your aim. That way you can be able to outlast some of these gunfights and still get shots on people. So getting into this situation here, I'm coming up on a 1v3 where one of my teammates is down and the other one is completely clueless to the gunfight. He's just a random third. I first knocked that Pathfinder and I took the time to go ahead and take a shield, and I noticed the Gibraltar was too quick to res. In this situation, you notice my movement and the hip fire was beneficial to me because when you're hip firing, you have the most speed on your character to move. And in that last one, well, I just had the high ground and I got the quick clap. So with me explaining that clip and showing you how it went down, I hope movement is becoming more of a priority to you other than just sensitivity in itself. Now, when it comes to field of view, this is automatically defaulted to 70, but I would suggest putting it on 100 or 110 because this allows you to see more to the left or right of your screen. So now we're on to how to train your aim every time you log on to Apex Legends. Now, what you don't want to do is shoot at the targets downrange contrary to belief, but you do want to utilize the Bloodhound that's available to you. And the reason why is because it is a realistic hitbox that you already have in place for you to aim at. Now, with how to train your aim, of course, I'm going to go over some tips, but the first thing I want to go ahead and put in your brain is pick up as many weapons that you typically use as much as possible and start shooting at the target as frequent as you can in many different ways. Whether that's a hip fire, whether that's crouch, whether that's from high ground. Use this to your advantage, that way you can get yourself warmed up and used to all the weapons and the recoil patterns as frequent as possible while aiming at a realistic hitbox. So with the hip fire strafe exercise, this is allowing you to focus your right stick on one single individual target on the screen while also moving your left stick in each opposite direction. This is allowing you to be a more difficult target to hit, but also focusing your aim enough to be able to hit the target that's in front of you without having to ADS. Now, if you are unaware of this, ADSing in Apex Legends actually slows you down tremendously. So if you can use the benefit of the hip fire in this game, I would say use it. Take multiple weapons that you use frequently and also take weapons with intense recoil and try practicing this in the training ground. It's okay to miss shots. I know it's contrary to belief that people feel like your aim has to be perfect all the time, but you want to make the mistakes in the training ground now. That way, when you go into battle, you'll actually be able to hit that shot that you need to hit and also win that 1v2 or 1v3 and clutch up for your team. Now in Apex Legends, this could be considered medium to long range or even just long range by itself, but using this drill as a technique in order to use a non-hopped up weapon, which is a gun with no attachments, and try to fire as many rounds into the Bloodhound as much as possible. This will allow you to simulate what it would be like on the battlefield if you saw an enemy from this distance and you chose to engage in that gunfight. This will allow you to hit as many shots as possible and focus your aim for the future. And the last drill is just a tap fire drill, just to focus on your aim from a distance. That way you can get guaranteed damage to weaken an enemy before a push. So now guys, we've gone over how to train your aim in the training ground. We've also gone over movement and of course touched on your sensitivity, which a lot of you have clicked on this video for that reason. Now I want to know from you guys specifically, what areas do you feel like you struggle in Apex Legends when you're getting into a gunfight or even just trying to win games? I noticed early on for me it was my gunfights, especially when I got into 1v2, 1v3 scenarios, and I found myself learning to utilize the hip fire and the movement system a lot more lately in order to get those 10 to 12 to 15 kill games more frequently, because it's beneficial. And also just learning the loadouts that I prefer to use. Unlike people using a G7 or a Spitfire, maybe I go with the Havoc R99 combo. Tell me what your favorite combo is in the comment section. But besides that, my people, I really just wanted to make this video to help you guys out on those of you that need help on sensitivity, movement, or just getting better with your aim in this game. I know it can be difficult sometimes, and that's why the skill gap in this game I think is pretty great. But anyways guys, please subscribe to the channel for more Apex Legends content. I'll keep it coming for you guys as long as you guys want it. And hey, it would truly mean a lot if you guys turn on those notifications. That way you can never miss a video. But hey, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.